Get the audio. What the hell?
This guy right here. Hey, my brother is gone. I'm gone.
I'm trying to get these edits in. But this shit not easy at all. I can't stand with Premiere Pro be acting up like this. See, now I'm better with that audio because I ain't used to be good with the audio. So I just put out one of my first episodes in my YouTube series. The hell? Oh, my fault. So like I'm a cinematographer. I'm not a sound engineer, but I mean well now I'm technically am a sound engineer, but I'm like intermediate, in between beginners and intermediate. So you log on to Gold Sun Productions, go to Gold Sun, Gold like Jerry, Sun, S-U-N, like the sun in the sky. And then Productions with an S, you should know how to spell Productions. You can see my series. The name of my series is called Don't Smoke the Red Apple Weed. So you like scary movies and scary shit like that. Don't Smoke the Red Apple Weed. That's probably right in your ballpark. You would like that. But I ain't doing that right now. I'm just editing. Editing the second episode. So soon. First of all, don't. I got my lighting thing switched, so don't. It goes from color to color. I don't want nobody think of a Fruit Loop. Not there's anything wrong with being a Fruit Loop, but I'm not a Fruit Loop. That's just the light. I can't choose what color it picks. All right, let's back this thing up real quick. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Hold on, man, let me stop because they be trying to. Let me mute that. Cause last thing I need is for a video to get demonetized or taken down. Oh, we heard Kanye playing in it.
This guy right here. My brother is gone. I'm gone.
Dang, I wish I could see this. I got it set up that I got coming. So I got like a new desktop, lights, everything. So you'll be able to see what I'm actually doing. That's what I really want to do.
I know you got you. Come on, come on. Hey, man. Bruh. But you know you look up with the man, right?
Yeah.
No, I ain't come on now. You know how this nigga was
Yeah, this
wild.
good. This second episode. What is this? What is this? Why is this looking like that? Let me move down to. Okay. Yes, I think this episode gonna be fire.
Hey, y'all get home, man. This motherfucker, man. Come on, bro. Hey, you leaving, bro? No, you leaving, bro. So who? Ain't nothing wrong, bro.
Yeah, this episode fire.
Hey, y'all get home safe, man.
Damn shame gonna happen to him. Good person. Good kid. Tested. 3 months later, do we still need the 3 months later? Nah, which one is this? Did I do all of them? Oh, I guess I did. Alright, so hold on. I didn't do Trey. Alright, so what I would do is right there when he's walking, we're gonna do it in between there. So he's walking and then it's gonna cut. We'll have it cut to Trey because I don't have a clip with Trey on it. So let's do that. Hold on, calm down. See? A little too excited. Let's back that up some. And what we'll do, we'll use our old plugin. Come on. Oh, there we go. We'll use our old plugin. And then we'll just change the name. Booyah. And I'll bring all this. Bring this up some. Right about there. Command save. There we go. See that? I appreciate that, Scott. You right though. But the lasers, they not. I mean, they're pointing on me, but they not like pointing like they not pointing. They're not directly in my eyes. All right, so let's back this up. All right, here we go. So it's playing, cuts to darkness. All right, I'll switch that to. We'll switch that to Trey. Backspace, capital ITRE. Booyah. There we go. Oh, now come on now. See? I love Premiere Pro, but it just be doing stuff that I'm not even saying to do. Alright, see now that's two. Here we go. Alright, I see a mistake. We need to bring. There we go. Hey man, Scott weren't lying, cause that shit did just hit my eye. Dang, y'all really care about my eyes. I appreciate that. But it is, I know that it's hitting it, but it's not direct. It's just like it's over there. It's like, pointing that way. He said laser eye surgery. Appreciate it. May the Lord bless you too. May your ancestors accept you in your ascension. All right, come on, let's get back to it. Dang, man, in a week or two, I'm gonna have everything, and then y'all gonna be able to see exactly what I'm doing. Trying to promote this series. Like I said, if you like scary movies and stuff, or if you into like spirituality, or even command save religious aspects, you won't like this series. I'm trying to be consistent going live, so y'all don't have to. You have to forgive me. All right, so now let's let it play out. Bet. I like that. And oops. Yeah, that worked. So this is my second episode. What is this? Come on now. Command save. See? It ain't too bad. Alright, bet. Hold on. I can't play. I wish we could play music, but we can't play music. Oh, I do read the Bible now. If y'all want me to read it, I'll read it. I'm editing tonight though, so, but we can do some Bible reads. I was last biblical chapter I was reading was Exodus, and Exodus was difficult. Reading Exodus was a little bit difficult, cause it just I don't know. I just did see. Here's the thing: when it comes to the Ten Commandments, what most people don't know is that it's actually more than 10 commandments. It was more so like 3,000 3,600 commandments, but man reduced it down to 10 commandments. You might say, well, where's your facts, where's your proof? The proof for this is that if you read Exodus, right after the 10 commandments, there are multiple more commandments that God is saying, and that He's talking about. A lot of the times, what's hard for me is it kind of makes slavery okay, and so I don't consider myself a European Christian. I'm a Nubian Egyptian Christian, and I don't believe that the King James version of the Bible is the original version of the Bible, which is not, because it's King James version. And if you study King James, you would know that with King James, did and was trying to do, he worked with his aunt, who is Queen Elizabeth, and Queen Elizabeth and King James coerced together to kill King James' mother, who is Queen of Scots. So Queen of Scots was assassinated. This is true story. You could research this, look this up. And at that time, King James wanted uh, he wanted power, he wanted control, he wanted, that's the vibe he was on. They even killed King Henry to get King James in the position that he was in as a king. And so in the midst of all that, King James was also studying witchcraft. That was big back then. He's responsible for murdering over 5,000 women that was accused of witchcraft. And especially if you was like what they would call a pagan, like me, they would have killed me back then, or they would try to kill me. He would kill me, bro. But that's one of the things that King James wanted was power, and the version of the Bible that he put together uh, was a version that benefits him and his kind. The you might ask, well, where did King James get the biblical books? Like, where did he get all this stuff from? He got it from the Ethiopian Bible, and there were Egyptian tablets, ancient Egyptian tablets, Sumerian tablets, Ethiopian tablets, um, that he took from, and that's how, well, Catholics, all of them, you know, that's how he put that stuff together. That's how he put the King James version of the Bible together through the Ethiopian Bible. If you look at the story of Jesus, well, Jesus was, back then Jesus was telling the the Jewish priests, if you want to call it the rabbis, he was trying to tell the rabbis that, hey, look, and this is after Jesus left Egypt. This is what most people don't understand, because a lot of times they think that because Jesus was a young man, and they tell you that he left Egypt at 7, he didn't leave Egypt at 7. He left at the age of 13, and because at that time he became a man, and then of his own free will, he went to travel to teach the word of the Most High, or the word of God. And furthermore, it wasn't just one Jesus; it was many Jesus, and a lot of the titles and names in the Bible, or well, the names in the Bible, they're actually not names; they're just titles. So, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. But that was the cause of Jesus' death. Some would, because they took, first of all, Jesus was of the ancient um he was of the ancient Egyptian order of Melchizedek, or the order of Melchizedek. He was a part of the order of Melchizedek, and Melchizedek would translate to Tahuti, but Jesus was initiated into the order of Melchizedek in Egypt. Again, he back then they was man at 13. There was intelligence in Egypt. You have Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun became a pharaoh at the age of, like, what, 14, 13, 14. Jesus, they even get his, a lot of people don't know this. They even get Jesus' story and Tutankhamun's story mixed up and intertwined with each other. So sometimes when you're referring to Jesus, they have the same story. You understand? So if we backtrack to Tutankhamun, if you look at Tutankhamun, what did he do? When he became Pharaoh, or Nefertiti, or Nisut, Tutankhamun began teaching the origin. Tutankhamun began teaching the origin of their culture and their religious rites and things like that. Because you look at what Akhenaten was doing. Uh, Akhenaten was bringing in a different way of life, or a different way of, I'll say, their culture or their religion, or how they would chant and pray to their Most High or their gods. But a lot of the high priests of Amun, they didn't get what was going on. They didn't get that Akhenaten was he wasn't he wasn't trying to say that he is the one and only true God. That's not what he was doing. He was bringing in the science of Kawun or Pa, which means all. So what Ankananta was doing was saying that we are all a part of that Most High, that God or that deity. Back then, they were in Egypt. They were called Hu, which means translates to the living force of will. So in Egypt, when you talk about the deity Hu, that's the living force of will, which would translate to be God. So that's all he was trying to do. But if back then you had I, what was I trying to do? I was the one responsible for murdering Tutankhamun because I just wanted power. Same thing like King James. So these stories, they're parallel to each other, or sometimes they mirror each other. And when these so-called scholars, or you have like the Vatican and the Pope, when they form the King James version, they're taken from Ethiopia, they're taken from Nubia, they're taken from Egypt, they're taken from South Sudan, they're taken from South Africa, they're taken from Libya. All these books and all these tablets, they're taken from uh, different time frames or different parts of history. They're bringing them all together, and that's what all these books that form the King James version of the Bible. And I'm only specifically talking about the King James version. All these books that were formed in that way, that's where you get your King James version. And I'm not going to say like I said, I love Christianity. I used to be a Christian. I consider myself a Nubian Egyptian black Christian. I ain't gonna say Nubian Egyptian black Christian of ancient Egypt, and I studied the and my path in life is I'm trying to comprehend and understand where the original tablets or the original books of the Bible came from, and what was the original Bible. Because a lot of times, even if you look at modern day, the difference, I would say, I just don't, because factually, you know, King James version, and if you study King James, the difference would be that I just don't accept the formation of the King James Bible, because I know that I can factually prove that it came from an original Bible. For this, do you believe Jesus is God and died for our sins? I do. I do believe that. I do believe that. But if you study the stories, I don't even. I don't think that. I don't think that if you study stories, you would know that Jesus was the way. So he didn't have to die for our sins. He presented the way. He presented the way of life. So if you studied if they were there, my phone about to die. If you studied the the way that Jesus presented, and you followed the way that Jesus presented, and what did Jesus present? He presented the way of my Father. That's what he said. My Father. I move off the way of my Father. So in Matthew, you would read that a lot of times, in the book of Matthew, Jesus says, "Many will come in my name, and many would claim like, I prayed in your name, I chanted in your name, I did all these miracles in your name." And what it says? It says that Jesus said, "I know you not. Get away from me. I know you not. I don't know you. Get away." This is what it says in Matthew that Jesus would say. But you ask yourself, why would he say that? Because it's not Jesus. It's the Father, which is God, and that's what people get it mixed up at. Jesus followed the way of his Father, which was God, and that's when they say Jesus the light, Jesus the way. That is what is that is what they're referring to. So A lot of time, and again, just read um read Matthew, read the book of Matthew, and read the book of Exodus again, and I'm telling you, you'll see that Jesus is saying, no, don't. It's not me. It's my Father. You have to follow the way of God, not the way of Jesus. And I don't. I feel like the Bible is. I don't think that Jesus died on this. On if you really know the story and you study different versions of the story, I don't think he died. He didn't. He did not have to die for our sin, because God gave him the way. And if you follow the way, you're saved. That's it's not I don't I just don't believe that his why would his father do that? Why did Jesus have to die on the cross? Why does it? I mean, you ever seen Passion of the Christ? That's a horrible movie, cause I'm witnessing the Son of God be murdered the entire movie, and then he said he rises up 3 days later from the mountains. So it's like I don't want to get into it now, but love us so much and wanted to give us something. Exactly, I believe that, but I don't think it was Jesus that died on that cross. I think that, or I put it this way: the Jesus that we're all referring to, because remember, it were many Jesuses back then, there were many teachers, there were many prophets back then, and they were all coming out of Egypt. That's what they don't tell you. They were all a part of the mystical order of Melchizedek, and study Melchizedek. Melchizedek is in the Old and New Testaments, so they were all part of that order. And Abraham, uh, uh, even Muhammad. I know that's Arabic, but Muhammad was a part of that order. Abraham was a part of it. Jacob was a part of that order. Um, who else? It was just right. Moses. These are all scholars that was a part of that ancient Egyptian mystic order of Melchizedek. So that's where they would get. See, I think it's symbolism though. I think what the original tablets are saying is that if you follow the way, if you follow the way of Jesus, which is the way of his Father, which is the way of God, then you symbolically are risen up from the dead. You will be born again. I don't think it means literally. I think it might just mean like figuratively. I think it's I just don't like. Seriously, I still have research I have to do, and when I get the research that I want to do in the original tablets, then it's like I could be more clear on this, and I can make a final decision. But I don't think that the Son of God had to die on it. I think it's mistranslation from from the research I have done. I think it's just a mistranslation, because why I don't see the Most High doing that. I just don't see it. You one because he said, once you know the way, which is the way of God, then you're saved. You're saved. Like, and symbolically, in that case, you would be born again. So not literally, but figuratively, you would shed that you would shed that before you met. Let's say you was living crazy, like you was in the streets or whatever. That you would be dead, and then that spirit, the new you, the one that follows the way, would be risen, and then from that moment on, it's like you were born again. But I think Jesus went into the mountains because he knew the Roman soldiers and those rabbis were coming for him, and he went into the mountains for 3 days. And I think someone else who loved him took his place. And I think that's who died on the cross, which is honorable. But I don't think that I got you. But yeah, I mean, I'm a religious fanatic. I'm not. I ain't trying to convert nobody, but that's something that y'all want to talk about. We could talk about it. I like going into the religion. Different cultures, different. I'm open to everything. I study. I study a lot. I study all that. I've been studying that stuff since I was 4 years old. I read the whole entire Bible between 4 and 6 years old. So it's like, come on, since I was a kid, man. Sorry, but my tech is like it's acting up, y'all. So I'm in the live, but I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow night. What time is it? Oh, what's up, Mo? My brother Mo just joined on my TikTok, so I'm streaming through TikTok and YouTube. But y'all go to my TikTok, then I'm gonna still be live streaming on the TikTok. The TikTok is what you call it? It's horror dot art, and I'll finish up there because my YouTube, my phone's finna die. All right, y'all, but I appreciate y'all tuning in. I would definitely appreciate it if you check out Gold Sun Productions. Um, if you don't, we what time is it? 12. I'll be on live tomorrow, same time, and then we could finish the topic. We could finish the conversation. But if y'all can, I really appreciate it. Y'all could go on to Gold Sun Productions, that YouTube channel, Gold Sun Productions, and TikTok. Gold like jewelry, sun like the sun in the sky, and productions with an S. Just go on to Gold Sun Productions and watch my first episode to Don't Smoke the Red Apple Weed. It's a scary um series, a scary web series, but it does it is if you like I it kind it this is in it, culture, religion, all that is like dipping and dabbing in it. So just keep up with it. I put my first episode out like a couple of days ago. I'm editing the second episode right now, and in October that's when we're gonna finally put the movie out. So we have a 2 hour movie I'm putting out called Lord of the Mountain, and like I said, that'll be out in later October. I'm gonna try and put it out on Halloween. But yeah, go follow me on Go Sun Productions. But my phone finna die, so I'm gonna talk to y'all later, man. Peace, love, and unity. This ain't for you, TikTok. This is for the TikTok is still going, but for the YouTube, peace, love, and unity. Until next time, y'all can join me on TikTok live.